Hey guys, so we got some news today that Nintendo just filed a patent for a game console without an optical disc drive. So they didn't say it was the Nintendo NX, but it's all pointing to that, really. If you read the patent, I will link it in the description of the video here. Nintendo files a patent application for stationary game console without optical disc. So, and the patent is extremely long, so I suggest you take a look at the NeoGAF forum about it. But basically, it lists that it has a hard drive inside the console itself, and it has a card slot, like a memory card slot, which is basically like a game card slot. So it goes on to talk about how the card slot is able to read and write memory from there, and with today's leap in flash memory, I think this is a great idea or a great move on Nintendo's part to abandon the disk drive format for this console. Now, the Blu-ray discs are limited because they're just readable pretty much. You don't have you're not going to use a disc that is read and writable for a console. So if Nintendo does decide to go back to cartridges, via cards, like they call them now, game cards, like the 3DS, there's so many more options that they could do. If you remember back on the Super Nintendo, they used to put added chips into the cartridges to increase graphics and performance, like the Super FX chip and Super FX 2 chip. But they ran into a roadblock in the mid 1990s with the Nintendo 64, because the N64 was still based on cartridges, but at that point the advancement in cartridge technology had not reached a point where they could do much more with it at that time. It wasn't until 1999, at the end of 1999, that Secure Digital was introduced, which is what we have now called SD cards. And since that time, they've become more affordable for everybody to purchase. On top of that, having huge form factors with the RAM that they can use. You can get a 128 gigabyte SD card now for like $50. So the cost of them has gone down significantly over the last 15 years. So if Nintendo does go with a console without a disc drive, it'll do a lot of things for that console for the cost. It'll bring the cost down of the console, not having a disc drive, and the form factor of the console could be anything they want it to be. They could make it literally look like anything. They can make it look like a Mario. If there's no disc slot in there, it doesn't have to follow that boxed disc drive format that it would have to form itself around like the Wii and Wii U does. They can literally make it look like whatever they want. So I think that's really cool news that they have this patent going on here. And again, it's just a rumor for now because it's not clear enough if it's really going to be for the Nintendo NX, but it sounds like a really smart move from my standpoint, since you can just do so much more with flash memory. Readable and writable flash memory, you can do so much more than a disc. Discs are really getting to be obsolete, in my opinion. All they do is can hold lots of memory now for these discs, like Blu-ray. That's all they can do. So with flash memory, I think this is a great idea by Nintendo, and hopefully they do follow through with it. And we'll see what the NX brings to the table. Now, as far as backwards compatibility with the Wii U, I don't know if how that will affect it if they don't have a disc drive, but the majority of the games were downloadable for the Wii U, so I'm not sure. how that would affect backwards compatibility. But I think it's a great idea to go with the readable, writable memory cards for the games for the next system. It'll also allow them to have like custom designs for the cartridges. It'll allow you to take your games to your buddy's house and keep your saved game file on it, just like how we did in the old days. And they can still have their Nintendo digital account and all that stuff set up for you, so your games will still be owned by you. I just think this would be a really easier way to deal with things in today's modern gaming world. And it's really nice to see that Nintendo is just saying, you know, hey, screw all this, and we're gonna go back to a cartridge format. I think that's a great step, and I think it'll get a lot of people's attention too. So anyway, guys, we'll talk to you later, and hope you enjoyed it.